To the European theater, Christian Pulisic playing in the Champions League midweek, got the start, played 75 minutes, and how about this? Gets the game-winning assist as well. So, John, we've seen a lot of Christian Pulisic at Chelsea. We've seen some good, we've seen some bad. We've seen moments like this before, what seems like something positive, but what might end up being a blip. So, when you look at Christian Pulisic, what he's done so far at Chelsea and kind of where he is in his career, do you think his future should be at that club?
I think it's a time for patience because Graham Potter's just arrived. There are stories linking him with Newcastle. So, in fact, he's in quite a nice position because he's being linked with one of the brightest young English managers in Eddie Howe, and he's playing under another of the brightest young English managers in Graham Potter, both of whom are going to select their teams on merit. These stories I read on Twitter about Thomas Tuchel having been, in some sense, anti-American for not giving Christian Pulisic more game time, utter claptrap, because that's to suggest that a manager is going to select a team to serve his own whims rather than a team that is going to be having the best chance of winning a game. If Christian Pulisic is going to be the best chance of winning a game for Chelsea, he will be in the starting 11. So overall, you asked me to sum up his time at Chelsea. I think he's underwhelmed for the amount of money that was invested in him, but I do think it's a difficult stage on which to perform as a young player coming in, because there's always going to be a lot of competition. There's always going to be a lot of scrutiny. The club is run in a peculiar way, not like a conventional football club, or it certainly wasn't when Abramovich was at the helm. It may now be changing under Todd Bowley's regime, but that will be slow change because Abramovich was there for so long. So without in any way wishing to usher him out of Chelsea's door, I would say that if Newcastle were to come calling after the World Cup, he should consider it very seriously, because Newcastle is going to be the most exciting project to be part of over the next 5 years anywhere in the Premier League, I think.
It will be an exciting project, but if you're Christian Pulisic, you should just want to go somewhere where you can continue to play, continue to develop. You can talk about preaching patience under Graham Potter, but the thing is, Frank Lampard, he had his hardships. Thomas Tuchel, he's had his hardships. And now under Graham Potter, we just saw him last game come in as a right wing back. It doesn't matter where he is, he's having these difficulties. And you said it, it's very difficult to command that $70+ million transfer fee and really back it up at this point in your career at 24 years of age, where it doesn't matter what manager has been at Chelsea, you've not really gotten that run of minutes. Maybe it's a level, maybe it's Christian Pulisic, but if I'm Christian Pulisic, I want to do everything in my power to change that, and that means a move. If it's Milan, if it's Juventus, if it's Newcastle, he has to move.
Yeah, I think
interesting. You guys, go on, John.
I absolutely accept that. No, I was just going to say, I think maybe for soccer fans in the US, it's just worth underlining how attractive a proposition Newcastle is if that becomes an option, and if he wants to stay in the Premier League, and indeed if he wants to leave Chelsea and that option is there, because that is just about the biggest theatre that you could go to. It's a place where if you put in the effort, you've got a bit of a smile on your face. Look at Miguel Almiron. They love him now. It took them a while, but from the very start, they really liked him because of his wholehearted effort. If Pulisic was to go there and he went with a smile on his face and he plays as we know that he can, he could become a real star there.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.